Hi everyone, my name is Ashley Joy. Today I am going to discuss about the topic animation. These are the contents we are going to discuss in the presentation. What is animation? Types of animation, importance of animation, history of animation, first invented animation. The first one is what is animation? Animation is a method in which figures are manipulated to appear as moving images. In traditional animation, images are drawn or painted by hand on transparent celluloid sheets to be photographed and exhibited on film. Today, most animations are made with computer generated imagery. Types of animation. First one is cell animation. This is the original hand-drawn cell animation where the artist literally has to draw thousands of images on special paper and have them photographed frame by frame. Before the digital revolution, traditional animation was the norm of the industry, including Disney. Second one is 2D animation. This is vector-based animation and has two distinct advantages. It is cheap and easy to access. You need a basic understanding of keyframes and know how to use Adobe Animate CC. Third one is 3D animation. 3D animation and visual effects are quite simply the way of the future. 3D animation operates on different principles and is more akin to puppetry than traditional animation. For this, you need to learn how to digitally model a character, sculpt it perfectly, and give it a skeleton that you can move and manipulate. You will have to pose the model at certain frames and then let the computer do the rendering. Fourth one is motion graphics. This visual effect technique involves moving graphic elements such as text or logos, mostly using software such as After Effects. Works best for those working in the advertising industry or doing multimedia projects or even designing the opening of film titles. Fifth one is stop motion. Stop motion is like traditional animation except instead of drawing, you have clay models and a set that you have to carefully manipulate to produce animation. Stop motion can also be done with puppets, cutouts, silhouettes, and even action figures. In the past, stop motion was used as a form of special effects for live action films and has largely been replaced by 3D animation and visual effects work. However, there are filmmakers like Tim Burton who work almost exclusively with stop motion. Think Leica Films, Coraline, Paranorman, and recently Kubo and the Two Strings. Importance of animation. Animation is important because it makes us be able to tell stories and communicate emotions and ideas in a unique, easy to perceive way that both small children and adults can understand. Animation has helped connect people throughout the world in a way that sometimes writing and live action films cannot. History of animation. The history of animation started long before the development of cinematography. Humans have probably attempted to depict motion as far back as the Paleolithic period. Much later, shadow play and the magic lantern offered popular shows with projected images on a screen, moving as the result of manipulation by hand and or minor mechanics. In 1833, the stroboscopic disc introduced the stroboscopic principle of modern animation, which decades later would also provide the basis for cinematography. Between 1895 and 1920, during the rise of the cinematic industry, several different animation techniques were developed, including stop motion with objects, puppets, clay or cutouts, and drawn or painted animation. Hand drawn animation, mostly animation painted on cells, was the dominant technique throughout most of the 20th century and became known as traditional animation. The last one is first invented animation. The French artist Emile Cole created the first animated film using what came to be known as traditional animation methods, the 1908 Phantasmagorie. The film largely consisted of a stick figure moving about and encountering all manner of morphing objects such as a wine bottle that transforms into a flower.